Welcome back to Reddit Tales. Today's story is about a man who thought he was becoming a father until his girlfriend admitted she'd been cheating and treated him like a guaranteed safety net. As you listen, think about the moment you would have stopped trying to save it. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I need to get this off my chest because typing it out feels like closing a door I didn't know was even open. I'm 28. For 3 years, I was in what I thought was a solid relationship with Emily, 27. We met through mutual friends at a casual get-together in the city. She was outgoing and funny, and we clicked fast. I'm more steady. I work tech support. I'm reliable. I plan ahead. Emily worked in marketing and had more of a free-spirited vibe. I told myself it balanced us out. From the beginning, I wasn't just dating her. I was building a life with her. When she lost her job during a rough patch 2 years ago, I covered our rent for months without a second thought. I picked up extra shifts, cut back on my own spending, and even turned down a promotion that would have required relocating because she said she wasn't ready to move. I kept telling her, "We're a team," and I meant it. I still remember a night when she came home stressed from job hunting, and I surprised her with her favorite takeout and a massage. She looked at me and said, "You're the best thing that's ever happened to me." Moments like that hit differently when you know how the story ends. We talked about the future a lot. Marriage, kids, all of it. I wasn't pushing. I was just committed. Last year, I started saving for a ring, putting away money from every paycheck. Emily seemed on board. She'd send links to baby name lists or houses in quieter neighborhoods and say, "Someday," with that little wink. I helped her with her side hustle on weekends, designing graphics for freelance gigs. I fixed her car when it broke down. I drove her to appointments. I was the rock. And sure, it wasn't perfect. No relationship is. But I didn't doubt us until about 6 months ago. It started subtle. She was more distant, always on her phone, laughing at messages and turning the screen away when I walked in. I told myself it was work stress. Then she started feeling off, and I figured maybe hormones were at play, maybe she was just tired. Then one evening after dinner, she sat me down on our couch. Her face was serious, but there was something in her eyes that looked almost excited. "I'm pregnant," she said. I was overjoyed. My heart took off like it was trying to outrun my body. I hugged her, careful but tight, and I started talking a mile a minute about doctor visits, nursery ideas, how I was going to step up even more. That night, I couldn't sleep. I laid there planning our whole future like it was already written. The next day, I called my boss to ask about paternity leave. I started researching baby gear. I surprised Emily with prenatal vitamins and a tiny onesie that said, "Future adventure awaits." She smiled, but even then it felt a little forced. I ignored that feeling because I wanted this so badly. For weeks, I went into full dad mode. I cooked healthier meals. I rubbed her feet when she complained about swelling. I talked about our little family like it was the safest thing in the world. "I'll be the best dad," I promised one night, my hand resting on her barely there belly. She nodded, but her eyes drifted somewhere else. She skipped a couple of checkups, saying she was busy. I offered to go with her every time, but she waved me off. "It's fine, babe, just routine." I trusted her. Why wouldn't I? I'd given everything to this relationship, and the baby felt like the payoff. Like all the sacrifices finally meant something solid. Then things escalated. She started staying out later, claiming girls' nights or work events. I'd wake up and check the time, worried about her and the baby, and she'd brush it off like I was being dramatic. One Friday, she came home late, and she smelled faintly like cologne that wasn't mine. I tried to approach it carefully. "Hey, everything okay?" She snapped back, "Can I have space?" That stung, but I backed off. I didn't want to stress her during pregnancy. I kept making excuses for her because when you're invested, your brain starts protecting the dream. Then the snide comments started. Little digs about my boring routine, about how I hovered. I felt like I was walking on eggshells, but I kept telling myself pregnancy can be hard. Mood swings happen. Stress happens. But this wasn't mood swings. This was something else. The truth finally showed up on a quiet Tuesday evening. I came home with groceries, planning to cook her a nice dinner because her cravings had been all over the place. Emily was sitting at the kitchen table scrolling on her phone and didn't even look up when I walked in. I kissed her forehead anyway. "How was your day? Baby kicking yet?" She put her phone down slowly and stared at me like she was looking through me. "We need to talk," she said, and pointed to the chair across from her. I sat down, already feeling that heavy drop in my stomach. I asked if everything was okay, if the checkup was fine. She leaned back, crossed her arms, and said, "The baby's fine, but there's something you should know. I've been seeing someone else." The room went quiet in a way that felt unreal. "Emily, what are you saying?" She shrugged like she was telling me she changed shampoo. "Jake from work. It's been a few months." I tried to process it, but my brain kept snagging on one word. Months. Then I said the thing that made the most sense to me in that moment. "But the baby, our baby." And that's when she delivered it like she'd been practicing in a mirror. "It might be yours, it might be his. I know you'll stick around to find out, though. You're a good guy like that." There are sentences that change how you see someone forever. That was one of them. I just sat there trying to breathe normally because my body wanted to panic and my mind wanted to rewind time. "A good guy," I repeated. "Emily, this is our life. I've been planning everything around this child, around us." She picked up her phone again like she was bored. "Look, I was confused," she said. "You're always focused on the future, the stability. Jake makes me feel alive. With you, it's just safe, predictable." Then she said it as casually as ordering coffee. "We'll do a test after the birth or whatever. Until then, you can help out. I mean, you love me, right? This doesn't have to change that." This is where a lot of people lose themselves, trying to prove they're worthy of being chosen. I asked her, "So you're telling me you've been cheating for months and now I might not even be the father, but I should just wait around?" She didn't hesitate. "Exactly," she said. "You're responsible. Jake's fun, but he's not the type to step up like you." I looked at her and realized something simple and brutal. She wasn't scared of losing me. She was confident I wouldn't leave. I asked her what happens if the baby isn't mine. She waved her hand like I was asking about the weather. "Then you're off the hook," she said. "But until we know, let's not rock the boat. Pass me those groceries. I could use a snack." No apology, no remorse, just entitlement. And that's the part people don't talk about enough. Betrayal hurts, but being treated like you'll accept it hurts in a different way. I didn't explode. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I nodded once, stood up, and started unpacking the groceries in silence while my mind moved faster than my hands. That night, after she went to bed early, I sat on the couch staring at the wall, replaying every sacrifice. The extra hours, the missed opportunities, the time I turned down that promotion because she wasn't ready, the future I built in my head around a family that might not even be mine. I kept thinking, how does someone go from, "You're the best thing that's ever happened to me," to this? But the longer I sat there, the clearer it became. People don't always change. Sometimes they just stop pretending. The next morning, over coffee, I kept it simple. "We're doing a paternity test," I said. "Prenatal, if possible. I want to know sooner." She looked surprised I wasn't arguing, then nodded like she was approving my behavior. "Okay," she said. "Good, see, you're handling this maturely." I didn't respond because there was nothing to say. Inside, something had already shut off. I quietly contacted a clinic and scheduled a non-invasive prenatal paternity test. In the meantime, I started pulling back. I moved my things into the spare room without fanfare. "For space," I told her when she asked. She shrugged, almost relieved. Those weeks were strange. We lived in the same apartment, but it felt like we were on different planets. I went to work, hit the gym after, started journaling just to keep my thoughts from boiling over. Friends noticed I was off, but I kept it vague. I wasn't ready to say it out loud yet. Emily kept acting like I was the problem. "You're being weird," she said one night. "Lighten up. It's not the end of the world," I just nodded. "I'm focusing on facts." No more foot rubs, no more hovering, no more baby talk. I canceled the orders I'd placed for baby gear. I stopped talking about the future like it belonged to us. In my head, I made a plan that didn't require her cooperation. If the baby was mine, I'd do the right thing. I'd co-parent responsibly. I'd be present. But the relationship was over either way, because you don't come back from being told you're a placeholder, and if the baby wasn't mine, I'd leave completely and never look back. The test day came and we went together. The car ride was silent. Results would take about a week. I dropped her off afterward and went home alone, not angry, not dramatic, just empty in a way that felt strangely clean. A week later, I got the email at work. Non-paternity confirmed. The baby wasn't mine. I stared at the screen for a long time. Relief hit first, then grief for what I thought my life was going to be, then a quiet calm that felt like my body finally unclenched. It was over. No ties, no obligations, no wait and see. I called Emily from the parking lot after work and kept it factual. "The results are in," I said. "It's not mine." Silence on the other end, then a sharp breath. "What? That can't be right. Let me see." I forwarded the report without comment. That evening, back at the apartment, I started tying up loose ends. Emily was pacing with her phone like she was trying to outwalk her own decisions. She told me she'd texted Jake the news. His response was nothing at first, then one short message. "Not my problem. We were just having fun." Then he blocked her. And just like that, the exciting guy who made her feel alive disappeared the second reality showed up. Emily unraveled fast. The smug confidence drained out of her like air from a balloon. Her job became a gossip machine. People knew. Whispers turned into distance. Friends who cheered her glow-up started backing away because nobody wants to be too close to a mess that smells like karma. And financially, she started feeling what my support had been covering. Bills piled up. Panic replaced attitude. I watched it in glimpses while I packed, but I didn't engage. Karma didn't need my help. Then she pivoted back to me. It started with a simple text. "Hey, can we talk? This is harder than I thought." I didn't reply, then voicemails. "I know you're mad, but I made a mistake. Jake's a jerk. He bailed. The baby's coming in a few months and I could use some help." That was the first time she said the quiet part out loud. She didn't miss me. She missed what I did for her. A week later, she showed up at my work during lunch. I was grabbing coffee in the lobby when she approached. Her belly was more noticeable now. Her eyes were puffy, but her posture still had that edge like she wanted to stay in control. "Please," she said, "I need you. This baby's innocent. You were so excited before. Don't punish it for my screw-up." I set my cup down and kept my voice even. "Emily, the baby isn't mine. That's a fact." She stepped closer, like closeness could turn a no into a yes. "But you could be there," she said. "Step up like a real man. I chose wrong. He used me. But you're different. We can start over. Raise this kid as ours." That word choice, real man, told me she still didn't get it. She still thought shame and pressure were tools she could use. "No," I said. "That's not my path anymore." Her face tightened. Anger flickered. "So that's it. You're going to abandon me after everything." I didn't raise my voice. "I didn't abandon you," I said. "You chose this. Good luck." And I walked away, not because I wanted revenge, because I wanted peace. Then her family got involved. First, her sister called. "You need to man up and help," she said. "Family is family, even if the kid isn't yours biologically." I almost laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was so predictable. The same people who never protected my dignity were suddenly passionate about my responsibility. "I'm setting a boundary," I said. "This isn't my responsibility." She called me heartless and hung up. Her mom texted the next day, shame, guilt, lectures about what a man should do. I blocked her number too. Emily kept trying. Messages swung between fear and rage. "I'm scared. I need support." "Fine, ignore me. You're not the good guy you pretend to be." Then one night she showed up at the apartment unannounced, crying, demanding we hash it out. She tried to push past me. She said I owed her because we'd been together 3 years. She blamed me for her being alone, and in that moment, any lingering doubt died. Because someone who respects you doesn't say, "It might be yours, it might be his, I know you'll stick around." They don't use you like an insurance policy. I told her to leave. When she didn't, I said I'd call someone. She stormed out and started sending rage-filled voicemails. I documented it all, not to be petty, but because I didn't trust what desperation could turn into. A month later, I had my own place, a quiet studio across town, a fresh start. I'd blocked Emily everywhere, but her family kept trying new numbers. One afternoon, an unknown number called. I answered cautiously. It was her dad, voice rough and serious. "We need to talk, son. She's struggling. Bills stacking. Baby due soon. You got to step up, be the bigger person." I paused, not because I was considering it, but because I wanted to answer clearly. This was the final attempt to keep me tethered to a problem I didn't create. "My only responsibility was to the possibility of my child," I said. "That possibility is zero. I'm protecting my peace by ending this conversation. Do not contact me again." He started to protest. I hung up, blocked the number. No anger, no speech. Just the end. And that's what shocked me most. How calm it felt once I stopped trying to convince someone to value me. I started rebuilding. Work got better because my mind wasn't constantly stressed. I made new friends at the gym. I went to therapy and finally unpacked why I tried so hard to be chosen by someone who didn't respect me. I even started dating again, slowly, and the difference was obvious. Healthy people don't demand you prove your love by tolerating humiliation. As for Emily, I don't know the full ending. I stopped checking. I stopped asking. I stopped letting her name take up space in my day. I just know one thing for sure. The cold certainty in her voice that night at the kitchen table was wrong. I didn't stick around. And the moment I stopped being her safety net, her family's demands meant nothing to me. Lesson 1. If someone cheats and then treats your loyalty like a guaranteed resource, they don't love you. They're using you. Lesson 2. A pregnancy does not erase betrayal. It doesn't obligate you to stay in a relationship built on deception. Lesson 3. Calm detachment is not weakness. Sometimes it's the strongest form of self-respect. Lesson 4. People who pressure you to be the bigger person often mean accept the unfairness quietly. Lesson 5. You can be a good man without being someone's backup plan. What would you have done after hearing, "It might be yours, it might be his, I know you'll stick around"? And do you think cutting contact completely was the right choice here? Share your thoughts in the comments.